Hello guys, welcome back to this Esentaxa live. My name is Andrea Papito. If you're new in this channel, we talk about taxation, how to optimize taxes, how to minimize your taxation when you move to Italy, if you want to relocate in this country, and if you basically want to reduce your taxes while you're living in this country, while you become Italian fiscal resident. Of course, now in Esentaxa, we are also exploring new countries in Europe. We try to learn about the taxes in different jurisdictions in European Union, and we are going to release more and more video also on these new jurisdictions. And we're going to analyze in the same way we did with Italy. So we're going really in details. We're going to find the small details, the small things, the small hidden law and loopholes that normally are hidden behind certain legislations, and we'll try to extract them and explain you how it works in a way simple, the best simple possible. Okay, so because tax legislation is not something easy to understand, but something that we have to translate in a natural language, in a comprehensible language, and this is valid for all European countries. Now, in this specific live, I'm going to talk about the Italian Budget Law 2023. The Italian government published finally the draft of this law. In the last lives, we just started to announce this, let's say, this new budget law. We just had some rumors, some first let's say, hypothesis, but now we have a real draft of the law. What does it mean, a real draft of the law? Well, it means that what I'm going to tell you right now is what has been actually written in the law, but it's not something that will be for sure published. It's not something that will for sure, let's say, make it public in the end of the year. Okay, so you have to make sure that this is that you're going to hear in this live. It's something that might be different a little bit at the end of the year, before the 31st of 2022, because everything that the Italian Parliament and the Italian government published in before the end of the year will be valid from the 1st January 2023. So let's deep dive in this new regulamentations. We are talking about specifically changes on the flat tax. But which flat tax? I'm going to explain you why. We have in Italy several flat taxes. It's not just one flat tax. We have the flat tax for the forfeit regime, for example. The forfeit regime is that very favorable tax regime that basically allows you to have a revenue up to 65,000 euro and pay only 5% taxes the first 5 years. And then after 5 years, you start to pay 15% taxes. And the real costs are not really accounted. You just have this deductibility percentage that the Italian states give you for, let's say, it gives for granted certain kind of activity deserve a certain number of deductibility percentage, and actually this is how it works. Now, in 2023, the new Italian budget law decides that the limit has been raised up to 85,000 euro. And this is something will be quite safe as information. I don't think it's going to change a lot in the parliament, and as when before the final approval from the parliament. This is a very good news, because basically you have extra 20,000 euro that you can keep tax at 5% flat tax. So that's the reason it's called flat tax, because it's not this amount of revenue, this profit is not going to be taxed on the ordinary RPF taxation, which has the progressive tax brackets. Now, there is another information which makes some difference on the forfeit regime. So we always said that the forfeit regime allows you to invoice as much as you want. You can even invoice millions of euro, and then only the following years you exit this regime. You have to go to the ordinary one. Well, with this budget law, these things is not anymore possible. You can keep remaining in the forfeit regime, even though you're going to exceed 85,000 euro, but you have to stay below 100,000. If you pass also 100,000, then you immediately exit the forfeit regime. And then you have to, from that moment, pay the ordinary RPF taxation and the VAT, because also remember the forfeit regime doesn't really requires you you're not obliged to pay the VAT at the top, add the VAT at the top of your invoices. And this is a quite important thing. If you pass 100,000 euros, then you have to turn immediately to the ordinary regime. So this is a big change. What else? The rest of I took some notes here, but the rest of the rules basically remain the same. So we keep the forfeit regime in the original version, except for these two differences. But of course, let's wait at the end of the year to be 100% sure. Then there is a new concept that will be introduced as a second important flat tax. So a new flat tax still of 15% will be introduced for the ordinary regimes. For always, we are here talking about VAT position, self-employers or freelancers. So we don't have any news from employee type of income or general type of income. Here it's just the professional income as a self-employed and freelancer. So as an ordinary regime, so if you're not in a forfeit regime, but if you are in ordinary regime, which you basically your tax, the real costs are real accounted, you deduct your real cost, and your profit is taxed on the RTF taxation. So if you have, for example, from 2023, of course, this is a new regulation, a new law, a new rule. If you're going to have an increment of your revenue by, I don't know, a certain delta, and this increment is differ from the previous 3 years, so the highest of the previous 3 years, then on this increment you pay only 15%. Okay, I'm gonna re-explain you better because I know it's complicated, but I'm gonna explain you again. So you have to take into account your previous 3 years, previous 3 revenues on 3 years, for example, 2020, 2021, 2022. You take the highest revenue that you have earned in the previous 3 years, and then you compare this highest revenue with the revenue of this current year, of the year of 2023, let's say, because this is started from next year. So the increment won't be taxed with the ordinary tax bracket. So if you're going to move to the next tax bracket, you don't have to, but you can opt for this taxation of only 15%. So on your increment of revenue, compare against the highest previous 3 years, then you pay 15% on this increment. So that's the reason why this flat tax is called incremental flat tax. It's a new concept that has been introduced in 2023. It's completely brand new. It's the first time that in Italian legislation there is this kind of concept. It's not even common, I think, in other countries in the world. But this is basically push you to keep working, to not stop your revenue, because otherwise you'll be taxed too much. So you have this incremental only, in your revenue incremental, you will be only taxed as the 15%. There is a cap, a maximum cap that is also has been defined, which is 40,000 euros. So if your increment it's up to 40,000 euro, compare the highest of the last 3 previous years, then you're going to tax this 40,000 euro at 15%, rather than the ordinary tax rate. And then the next year, you're going to do exactly the same operation, and so on. Okay, I hope I was clear. Of course, if there are any questions, you can always write me in the chat. Of course, I didn't have time to give you some notice about this live. I wanted to normally schedule this live some days in advance, but because of Black Friday, we had a little bit busy with other activity, with consulting a lot of clients. So now the last and quite important news in the Italian budget law 2023 is the new taxation on cryptocurrencies. Now, up to now, if you have followed this channel, we have plenty of video on cryptocurrency taxation, and we know that we have a taxation of 26% of capital gains above 51,000 euro, more or less, of global value of your cryptocurrencies detained for 7 consecutive days. So there is this complex regulation, but it allows you to be tax-free for huge capital gains values. But of course, that was interpretation of the Italian tax agents, because Italy never published an official law on cryptocurrencies. In 2023, this will be this will going to be an effective. This will have a solution, a real law that has been published in the Italian Budget Law 2023, which may put a sort of define the rules of how to tax your cryptocurrencies. So now we have a real, let's say, legislation system that talks specifically about cryptocurrencies. And unfortunately, the Italian state wants to get some taxes from it, wants to try to suck a little bit of the money. And we don't have anymore this limit of 21,000 euro, but we have a very, very small limit of 2,000 euro. What does it mean? It means that every kind of capital gains realized with cryptocurrencies up to 2,000 euro is tax-free. It's not even relevant for the tax declaration. Everything above will be taxed at 26%. Okay? So there is a good news. The first good news is that it's now we have a law. So there is not an interpretation. An interpretation at tax agency always be subject of some kind of doubt. So of the interpretation itself, it would be sometimes a risk in case of you need to go to court and contest some audits and this kind of things. Now we have a law, everything is crystal clear. Another point of this law is that if you convert cryptocurrencies into another cryptocurrencies, this is not relevant. So it used to be relevant for the previous Italian tax agency interpretations, but now it's not relevant. So you can basically trade in one cryptocurrency and turn your gains in another cryptocurrency, and this is not relevant in terms of taxation until you cash out in euro. Okay, you don't have to consider this jump from cryptocurrencies to other cryptocurrencies as relevant in terms of taxable income. This is good news. Now, if you realize a gain, of course, when you cash out in euro, you have to pay now this 26%, except for the first 2,000 euro. A good news that wasn't defined in the previous tax agency declaration is that now it's specifically written in the law that we have also the losses. So you can compensate the losses for your trading against the plusvalenza, against the capital gains, okay, against your gains. So you can make the difference, and then you pay taxes only on the difference if there is some positive differences, okay? So this is also important. And there is also another news, another kind of optional taxation that you can opt, you can choose. So instead of basically tax your capital gain at 26%, you can also make this kind of choice. The Italian state tells you from the 1st January 2023, you can take the value of your cryptocurrency at the 1st January of the 1st January 2023. So the value of your cryptocurrency can be taken into account as a reevaluation. Okay, so instead of tax you on your capital gains, I'm going to tax you on the actual market value at the 1st January 2023 of that cryptocurrency. And this taxation is a substitutive taxation of only 14%. So it's brand new taxation, and you can basically make your own calculations and decide if it makes sense to tax your capital gains. For example, if you had Bitcoin 2018, a long time ago, and now the Bitcoin's worth a lot more, maybe it makes more sense to cash out everything now, pay this 14% at the value of the 1st January 2023. Maybe this is your case. And that would be less than pay a capital gains of 26% between 2018 and 2022, right? So it depends. It depends on the cryptocurrency that you invest your money. It depends on a lot of factors. It's all about make calculations. So the Italian state gives you these two opportunities. Now, this is just a choice you can make. Of course, this is, as I said before, it's a draft in the Italian law. Is still not 100% certain that the parliament will approve these specific rules, but this is the system, this is the skeleton, this is the template of this law 2023, and actually this is what we need to this is actually what we have to do is just wait what happened in the end of the year, and when we will have the real law, we are going to release the new video in Esentaxa with the precise tax fiscal, let's say the precise law, the precise rules, and we are going to consult our client quite easily and quite effective. Now, I don't see anybody now connected, so I think we can stop the stream at the moment. That was very quick. Sorry for the short notice. And but you can see it afterwards here. So I think I can close it because I don't see anybody else connected. Don't forget that we have still our promotion for the Black Friday up to tomorrow, which is Sunday, for the weekend of the Black Friday. So if you need any consultancy to move to Italy, if you need to know about taxes in Italy, you can write at info@esentaxa.com. You will find our email in the description below the video, or you can book a free consultation, always in the description below the video, with our team members, and we will check if you need a specific service, if you need a tailored consultation, if you need a specific help. We are happy to assist you. Thank you for this, for your time, and see you the next time.